The day has come. The day has come where having good credit will get you punished and having bad credit will get you rewarded. Welcome to another episode of Becoming with Angelina Watkins, and I'm your host, Angelina, your queen of becoming, here to help you achieve emotional, spiritual, and financial prosperity. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how the Biden administration has enacted a law that is impacting the loan level price adjustment, which is basically the price of a loan. And so typically, those who have a higher credit score and a sizable down payment, they would pay a lower cost of their loan versus someone with a low credit score who would have a higher cost. Well, now the Biden administration is flipping that thing around and it's not making any sense. And so we're going to get into that and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to break it all down for you so you can understand how this is going to impact you and your ability or wants or desires to buy a new home or even refinance. But before we get into that, I want to welcome you to the show. If you are your first time joining us, thank you so much for tuning in. I am here every Thursday dropping knowledge, and I started this podcast so we can talk about all kind of topics to help you become who you need to be so that you can win at love, life, and money. Okay, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss another episode. And make sure that you leave me a comment down here and let me know if this is your first time here. How did you enjoy the show? So let's go ahead and get on into this. Biden administration at the beginning of the year announced that they were going to be making some changes to the loan level price adjustment. So basically that came about from the 2008 recession, when we were having some mortgage issues for that were real estate issues that caused the recession. And they enacted some laws and some things to start protecting mortgages. But with mortgages, when you buy a home, there's something that we have: loan costs. It costs to buy a home. And what they typically do is they roll those costs into your mortgage rate. And so what would happen is that they would look at your mortgage rate, and for those who had a high credit score, for those who had a low debt to income ratio, for those who putting down a sizable down payment, it could lower the cost of your loan, which technically means it's going to lower your interest rate because the cost of the loan is rolled into your interest rate. With the Biden administration, they're really trying to make homes affordable. And in making homes affordable, they have enacted this law that is changing how they calculate the mortgage costs. So for those who are paying their bills, okay, on time, being responsible with their credit, and they have a high credit score, and they're putting down a sizable down payment, where they're going to pay a higher cost, which means they're going to pay a higher mortgage rate. And then for those who are not responsible, are not paying their bills, are not paying the creditors, and they have a lower credit score, they're going to pay a lower interest rate. Now, this seems really, really crazy. Who would have thought the day would come where doing the right thing would cause you to pay more? I mean, what is the purpose of doing good? What is the purpose of doing the right thing? What is the purpose of making sure that your bills are paid and you're paying on time and you're working so hard to keep your credit score up, to only be punished when it's time to refi or buy a new home? It just doesn't make any sense to anyone that if you have a lower credit score and that you've not been paying your bills, that they would give you a break. And so there's many people out there. There is the National Realtors Association who is advocating for them to change their mind. This took effect on May 1st. So about a week and a half ago, this went in effect on May 1st, that as of May 1st, if you go out and buy a home, if you go refinance and you have good credit, you're going to pay a higher interest rate. And that's on top of the fact that we're already in this economic world that we're in today, where we have inflation. You've already raised the mortgage rates. Now you're raising the cost of the loans, which is going to raise the mortgage rates even more. And then You get punished for doing the right thing. I mean, that's like the person who has a 1.5 GPA gets a scholarship over the person who has a 4.0 GPA. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that the person who's getting D's and F's would get awards and certificates over the person who's been coming to school, doing their job, and getting A's and B's, and they're on the honor roll. It's not making any sense whatsoever. It's like taking someone with a GED and only been working an entry-level job, and you want to make them the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. What? That doesn't make any sense to me. So just like those things are absurd, it's absurd that you would have good credit and you would work so hard to keep your credit score high and doing the right thing, paying your bills, and then be punished when it's time to go buy a home. So this is one of those things that you have to really think about it. What should we do? Should we just not pay our bills for a couple months and let our credit score fall so that we can then go get a better rate? I am all for home affordability, but not at the expense of those who do the right thing. I mean, that's like going to the NBA championship and the team that didn't win the 4 games and didn't win the championship, they get the trophy for a good try. No, that's not fair. It doesn't make any sense. And it's going to, I think, push this economy into even a worse position. I mean, now you've got people who may have been planning or wanting to move, and now they've got to think about the fact that if I sell my home and I move into another home, I'm going to be paying more on top of the already high interest rates that we've been raised. I mean, we're right around 6.25 interest rate, which a year ago we were around 5%, which 2 years ago it was half that. I remember refinancing about 2 years ago, and my interest rate is half of what it is today. And so it's just kind of getting ridiculous at this point that the good guy is not winning, but the bad guy is. I don't think there is a biblical scripture out there that I could probably find, because all through Proverbs it talks about the good guy winning if you do what you're supposed to do, and the wicked, the bad guy, not winning in setting up his own demise for not doing the right thing. But then the government turns around and says, nah, we're going to let the bad guy win. We're going to let the villain win. And the hero, the good person, the person who does what they're supposed to do, you're going to be punished. Okay? Hopefully they will change their mind. Hopefully the people who are advocating for this not to happen will change their mind. And of course, this is impacting the private lending industry. So your big banks, your Wells Fargo's, your Bank of America, the private lending is where this really comes into play. So that's it. That's what you need to know. Make sure you are paying attention to what's happening in this economic world, you all, because it's greatly impacting you and your affordability of being able to afford the things that you need in order to live. And for you people with bad credit, well, you better hurry on in there and get your loan and get your home before they change their mind. Okay? Now, in this economic time, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared and recession-proof your income. That means you got to be thinking about emergency funds. You got to be thinking about how to protect your family. You got to be thinking about how you're going to survive if you lost your job, if the breadwinner got sick, if the breadwinner died. You got to be planning out and making sure that you are protecting yourself against the things of the way things are today. And for that, I wrote a book. It's called Path to Prosperity, the 17 Secrets to Building Wealth that you can start today. So make sure that you visit the description and hit that link and get the book today, okay? Because I am here to help everyone build wealth that wants to build wealth. And it starts with being knowledgeable. It starts with knowing what's available to you. It starts with knowing how to build passive income. And it's about being able to protect your economic value and preparing for catastrophic events. And it's all in the book. I've laid it out, all the secrets that you need to know, all the stuff they don't teach you in high school, all the stuff they don't teach you in college, all the stuff they don't teach you in finance, okay? I put it in the book. I made it real simple and easy to follow. So make sure you get that. Make sure you check that out, all right? Now, where you are, not where you have to be. Your past does not define you. You define you. So heal, transform, and pursue.